All right, guys. I use a lot of rinseless washes, and there's many different kinds of rinseless washes. There's cleaner rinseless washes. There's SiO2, graphene rinseless washes. There's all different kinds. So today I want to show you 3 rinseless washes that are cleaners that do a lot for you. They're very versatile. They have high dilution rates, and they can just save you a lot of money while doing a lot of different areas of your car. Now, these rinseless washes do not leave any film or any leftover layers of anything, any residual residues on the car. As a matter of fact, you could use these to prep the vehicle before you lay down your last step protection, whether it be a wax or a sealant or even a coating. And these can be used on the interior. They can be used as clay lubes, paint prep, like I said, rinseless washes, and waterless washes. And that's what we're talking about today. We're gonna use the rinseless washes as waterless washes today. And we're just gonna spray some different panels down with these. We're gonna use a very, very light dilution, what's listed on the bottle, but we're gonna use it cut down into a 16-ounce bottle of water. So it's gonna be very, very low dilutions. And let's get to it. These are 3 of my favorites. Let's do it. Okay, guys, the 3 rinseless products we're gonna use are the Feynlab Pure Rinseless, the Gloss Shop Sublime, and McKee's 37 N914. Now, these rinseless products can be made into waterless products, and that's what I'm going to use today. And I'm going to use the dilution ratios shown on the label. So for the Pure Rinseless from Feynlab, it's 15 milliliters or a half an ounce. A half an ounce into a gallon. Now, if I break a gallon up by 16, I get 8. So I'm going to round up to 16 milliliters, divide that by 8, I get 2 milliliters. That's what's in here. Don't mind the color on it. It's just stained on the bottom. So I got 2 milliliters of product that I'm going to put into 16 milliliters of water. And this is a little bit of a thicker product here. So I'm going to dump some water out here. And then I'm going to pour it right back in. And there's our Feynlab, okay? Okay, for the Gloss Shop here, this is 1 ounce into 1 gallon. So if I divide a gallon by 16 ounces, which I'm using over here, I get 8. And 8 into 30, which is 1 ounce of product, is 3.75. So I'm going to round it up to 4. And I'm going to put a little bit of liquid in here. And I'm going to put it back into the bottle. And the McKee's product is the same way. 1 ounce per gallon. So divide the gallon by 16, I come up with 8. 8 into 30 milliliters, I get 3.75. So here's the McKee's, 3.75, rounded up to about 4. Let me pour some water in here and pour it back in. So essentially, that's the very little amount you need for 16 ounces of water to become a waterless. Now you can increase this as much as you want to where you're comfortable, but that's pretty much what's listed on the label, and that's what we're gonna go with today. Let's get started. Let's use these. All right, guys, so we've got our 3 bottles made, 16 ounces each, with the listed dilutions in milliliters to ounces of water here. This is for a waterless wash. You can increase it, Probably if it was me, I would use about a ½ ounce to 16 ounces of water, something around that for the McKee's and the gloss shop. The Feynlab is very, very powerful, and I'd play with that a little bit. You know, you can stretch that out very, very far. If you're working in the sunlight or if your panels are hot, you may streak with the Feynlab. So it's better to work farther out, more dilution, and bring it back in. You can always add, but you can't take out. So start like that. Let's play with these products. That is a super, super, super deal on very little bit of product to water ratio. Okay, so here's my car. It's white, so you're not gonna be able to see a lot of the dust that's on there, but just know that it is very, very dusty. I don't know, can you see that? It is like that all over the place. And the paint is full of that. So we're just gonna do panel by panel around. We'll do them side by side and see if I can feel any differences, how I feel they clean. And at the end, we're gonna apply these to this back window. And remember, these are supposed to leave nothing behind, no film, no junk, no fillers, no residue. And the residues and the fillers and stuff like that are what attract dust. So I will drive this around for about a week, and then we'll come back and see which ones really attract less dust. Okay guys, I've got 3 fresh, very long pile, soft microfiber towels I'm gonna be using here. And we're gonna start out with the Feynlab product, and we're gonna do this whole window and door panel. Now remember, I barely put 2 milliliters into this, that's nothing. But when you shake that up, it's definitely product inside there. So there it is shaking up, that's 2 milliliters worth. So let me spray this. Let me put my towel down here. All right, let's spray this here. Now let me bring you close in so you can see. This is a soapy product, even at 2 milliliters to 16 ounces. So very cool, you see it's soapy, it's got suds in it. We've sprayed it very, very well. Let me get my towel. Fold it up. Flipping to a clean side. I'm gonna flip one more time here, and because this is clean, I'm gonna dry the already cleaned area. And then I'm going to continue down. So we've got some dirt off there. We've got one more clean side on the first half of the towel. We're going to go back and wipe any of the waterless product off here. And we are done. We've used all 4 sides of half the towel. So now we'll flip the towel over, and this is ready for another panel. That's how many towels you're gonna go through on a car like this. So you might go through anywhere from 4 to 10 towels, maybe more, depends on how dirty your car is. So this is clean. Let's move on to this one here. Okay, I've got the Gloss Shop Sublime, and this is 4 milliliters into 16 ounces. And you can see Once again, it has got some soapy suds to it inside there. Now let's spray this one down. Let me get you off the tripod here. Now this one does not seem to have the suds that the Feynlab has. Okay, so we've got that all wet. Once again, I've got a fresh towel here. And let's do the same thing. So we're going to start with the window. I'm going to flip it over, go over and dry. And then I'm going to start going down here. And I stop at the body line down here, flip to a dry side, go back and dry. And continue and wash the rest of the car. And I will use the last side there to go over any last remaining wetness here, liquid. And this side is done. So we'll flip to the fresh side and it'll be ready to use on the next panel with the gloss shop. Last but not least, we have the McKee's N914. This is 16 ounces of water with 4 milliliters of product. And as you can see, it does have a little bit of suds in it. So let's go ahead and spray this. We're going to spray this window, spray this down. And I didn't show you, this does not have any suds inside it. It is all wet, and let's get to waterless washing here. So we've got a fresh towel. We're going to flip sides, dry, go lower, flip it inside out. We're going to dry again with the clean. We're going to finish, and we have one side left. We're going to go over everything one more time. And now we've used one whole side on the McKee's towel, and the other side is ready to be used again. So we've cleaned this panel McKee's, this panel with the Gloss Shop, and this panel with the Feynlab Pure Rinseless. I'm going to give these a couple minutes to air dry anything, and then we're going to come back and check the slickness, see if anything is slicker than the other and what the difference is in feel. Basically, they all look very nice and clean. They did a fantastic job. Okay guys, well, let's start with the feel test here. And on this front door we use the Feynlab, and when I feel it, it feels nice and smooth. Now this car has been ceramic coated. It does have type of toppers on it, and let me say that the Feynlab is very powerful. It can remove old waxes, old sealants, but in this case I don't have anything very old, so it just cleaned it really well and it feels nice and smooth. Very, very good. Okay, let's move on to the back door here. Now this is the Gloss Shop, another cleaner, but this one doesn't state that it can remove waxes or sealants, old waxes or sealants. So this is more probably safer if you want to use that and leave those products on there. Once again, the Feynlab can remove those types of products, all right? So if you want to just do a regular wash and not worry about such strong cleaning abilities, maybe the Gloss Shop is there. Now you could always dilute that really far down to where it's not going to harm those products on that, and you're going to get more bang for your buck that way. But let's go on to the Gloss Shop here. Let me feel this. It feels very nice, very smooth. For me, they're almost even, but I want to say that the Gloss Shop does not feel as clean as the Feynlab. But I mean, I'm splitting hairs here. It's very, very close. I mean, very, very close. Okay guys, and let's move on to the McKee's. All right guys, we're on the back panel here. We're with the McKee's 914 now. And this product also is fine. It's not going to remove your sealants or waxes, but it can be used in a 1:8 dilution for paint prep. And that would be really high cleaning and may degrade your old waxes or sealants at that dilution. So less dilution, stronger product use will bring, you know, more cleaning power. So let's feel this one. Feels really nice. Yeah, this one feels way better than the Gloss Shop one. That's a big difference there. Super clean, and I'd say it's more slick than even the Feynlab, but all of them feel fantastic. So great job on the 3 products. I think any would suffice the job, and you'd be happy with any of them so far. All right guys, what else is cool about the waterless wash products? Well, we've already cleaned the panels, and let's say you want to clay your car. Well, now it acts as a clay lube. So this is a clay sponge. It's got clay on the end of it, and when you clay your car, you want to take contaminants off to make it more smooth. Usually you do this step before polishing, and even if you don't polish, highly recommended. But if you don't polish, and your paint will feel much cleaner and better for your last step protection when you go to apply that. So let's test out these products on their lubricity. We're going to start with the Feynlab on the panel that we cleaned with Feynlab. So we sprayed it. We've got our clay sponge here, and we're just going to go along the panel very lightly. This car doesn't need to be clayed really. So I just want to see the lubricity and how the clay glides on here. And it feels good. Then you take your clean towel and you just dry the panel. So now we've waterless washed it and clayed it. And it's feeling great. All right, let's move on to the next one. And I've dried the clay sponge now. And let's spray some of the Gloss Shop on here. And when you clay, you want a lot of lubrication. I'd say this feels good too. I would say that the Feynlab felt a little bit slicker. But this is fine. I'm gonna flip my towel around and dry the panel now. Feels great. No problem there. Let me put my towel to a clean side here. We've got the sponge all dried, and let's try the McKee's product. Stay away from the charging port. And this feels very similar to the other two. I would say nice lubrication. The sponge glides right over the paint very nicely. And we're going to take and dry the panel off again. So those are some fantastic reasons why we use a waterless wash: to wash the panel, clay the panel. If you wanted to polish the panel, you could, and then you could come back again with the waterless wash and wipe the polish off. Okay guys, so in this part of claying the car, I'd say the Feynlab had great lubrication, the McKee's had great lubrication, and the Gloss Shop had nice lubrication. Just seemed like the other two were more slick and more lubricating. So all three are going to work in that scenario, but that's just another function of using any one of these waterless washes that you pick up. All right guys, another great function of these waterless washes is you can use them on the interior. So if you want to spray down your seats, or spray a towel, you can mist it onto the seats and wipe it down. Over here we're using the Feynlab product, and I know it's hard to see across the way there. It's hard for me to film inside the car. And you can also use it on the doors, on the door panels. You can spray away here. You can spray the towel, whatever you want, and do a nice cleanup. And it leaves it with a nice clean finish. This side's done. This is the Feynlab. We did the the steering wheel, the dash, the seats, and the door panel. All right, over here we're gonna use the gloss shop. Spray a little bit on the seats, on the towel. I'm gonna wipe everything down. Remember, these are all cleaners, so they're gonna help to get the oils, your body oils, off the seats. Get your armrests. Everything you touch, just wipe down. Let's try out some of the gloss shop here on the door jamb. On the door panel. And I seem to notice that this one does not change the color. When I initially put the Feynlab on, it made it a little darker and then it dries up on there, but this does not change the color at all. Very, very nice product for the interior. This is the Gloss Shop Sublime. We use it on the dash and on the seat. And finally here I have the McKee's product. I'm gonna go ahead and spray it. My dogs are back here all the time, so you can spray it into the towel a little bit. Just wipe everything down. I need to vacuum. Should vacuum first. But I'm just giving you a quick demo here. Try it on some of the door panels. Everything looks good. Nice, clean finish. No problem. Okay guys, I've got some plain water here and I'm just gonna spray this window down with water. Usually I'd use some type of lubricant or something, but I just wanna get the dust off there without spraying a product so I don't mess this part up. So I'm just gonna spray some water. Okay, so we're gonna go in the same order. We're gonna use the Feynlab, the Gloss Shop, and the McKee's. We're gonna spray the windows, clean them, and then we'll see if any of them attract more dust throughout the week. All right, now let me feel. This is the treated area of Feynlab. Treated area of the Gloss Shop. Treated area of McKee's. So after applying these, I didn't feel really any difference from way up top where I didn't treat it on down. What I did feel is they weren't as clean where I didn't put the product. Now I did wipe this whole window with water, but each section where I didn't put the product and went over still had some gunk on it. And down here they were all clean and smooth. So very good. I'm gonna take the tape off and we'll check up on this in about a week. All right, guys, if you like the video, hit that like and subscribe button and press the notifications bell so you get all the new videos we're putting out. Today we're talking about rinseless washes and their different functions. We're specifically speaking about cleaner rinseless washes, and we have Feynlab's Pure Rinseless, the Gloss Shop Sublime, and McKee's N914. Now we made those into waterless washes in spray bottles, and we're talking anywhere from 2 milliliters to 16 ounces or 4 milliliters to 16 ounces on these two. I think that if you used a whole ounce, if my math is correct, that you should be able to get about 16 bottles like this of the Feynlab. And of the Gloss Shop and the McKee's, if you used a whole ounce, you should be able to get 8 bottles of waterless wash in the spray bottle. So it's about double for the Feynlab. Now, the Feynlab, they make very strong. They want to keep to their claims that it is a super cleaner. So really, you want to stretch it out even more. You can go another third more in the dilution. You can dilute it higher. These two, you know, they work pretty good as they come. The price on these, well, I'm gonna speak for what's going on. A 1,000 milliliter bottle of this is, I think, around $21. For a 16 ounce bottle of this is $15. And a 32 ounce bottle of the McKee's is $19. I don't think they offer it in a 16 ounce anymore. I'm not sure, but the 32 is $19. If you buy them in gallons, it drastically changes the prices. A gallon or 5 liters, which is more than a gallon of this, is $65. A gallon of the Gloss Shop is $40, and a gallon of the McKee's 914 is $49. Now you can always look for discounts or sales on these different products, and that will bring it down a lot. Sometimes you can find a 20%, 15, 20, 25% off on some of these products. So excellent. We use these as rinseless washes a lot. If your car's not that dirty, a rinseless wash is for a dirtier car. If it's not that dirty, we're using a waterless wash like today will be fine. They all work fantastic. I would say the Feynlab is probably the strongest cleaner of the three. The McKee's would be my second strongest cleaner, and the Gloss Shop my third strongest cleaner. As for being the strongest cleaner on the Feynlab, you want to dilute it even more, which will take the strength down, because you could have streaking with this product if you don't dilute it properly. And a lot of professionals will dilute further than the instructions say, especially if you're working with heat, a hot environment, or hot panels. Okay, really kind of want to try to do these without the panels being too hot, but if you do them small, one panel at a time, you shouldn't have a problem. Spray enough on there so that it lubricates it. So once you've waterless washed the vehicle, you can go ahead and clay bar. They all did a fantastic job as a clay lube. And I would say between the McKee's and the Feynlab, they were pretty equal in the clay lube part of it. But the Gloss Shop was my least favorite as a clay lube. Now, once you clay the vehicle, you dry it, and it's ready to go with your last step protection. So you can put on your wax, your sealant, whatever you want to do, your coating, whatever your protection is going to be, you're set at that point. That's all done with this bottle. From this same bottle, you can take this onto the interior, and you can spray down some panels, you can spray your towel, you can wipe the interior down, and they become interior cleaners. Basically, nice, all-in-one package. You've already made the bottle, you've waterless washed the car, you've clayed it, and now you still have product left. Go wipe the interiors down. It's going to do a fantastic job. All three did a great job at that. I think they're all pretty equal in that department. So guys, why would you buy one over the other? Well, I think they're all fantastic. I think if you buy the Feynlab, you're looking for super cleaning ability. It is just that. It is a cleaner. And when people say, I want the best cleaner rinseless wash, I would say the Feynlab is. But you need to learn how to dilute this properly. The second strongest cleaner, because once you start making this stronger, it will become the paint prep. But as far as their directions go, it is a fantastic overall experience. You're not going to have any streaking. And one that I reach for regularly is the N914 from McKee's. And I think as just an all-around nice product here, the Gloss Shop. And if you buy a gallon of the Gloss Shop at $40, which is just about the cheapest of all three, I don't think you can go wrong. Although I don't think it is the strongest cleaner that you can get of the bunch. Now, as far as foaming, this one seems to foam. The Feynlab seems to foam more on the car. The other two did not. Not to say that I haven't seen the Gloss Shop foam, but the Feynlab absolutely is a foaming product. So why would you buy that? For super strong cleaning abilities and high dilution ratios. That's why you buy the Feynlab. You buy the Gloss Shop for an all-around fantastic product and the cheapest in the gallon at $40. Why would you buy the McKee's? The McKee's does so many different things as well, except when you buy McKee's and you go to their store, they have everything that you need for your car. So it's a one-stop shop in your car. So not only does this do fantastic job like these products, but they have pads, they have machines, they have apparel, they have soaps with additives like SaO2, soaps with graphene, they have waxes, spray waxes, hand waxes, sealants, coatings, tire cleaners, iron removers, They have everything in their store. So you need one store to shop and plug and play everything. McKee's 37. And the products all work fantastically. Feynlab, they have a nice variety of products. Not as many as McKee's, but they have all your basic product needs. Shampoos, rinseless washes, but it's just a cleaner, okay? They don't have additive ones that I know of. SiO2s and graphenes, you know, they're a cleaner one. Once you do that, they have sealants and spray detailers, and they have coatings, different variety of coatings. Now they have compounds and polishes. You know, they have a nice variety of products. Is it as much as McKee's 37 has? No, it's not. But it is a nice variety of products. The Gloss Shop, well, they have a very limited variety of products. I'm not sure, maybe about 8 different ones that I saw. I'm not positively correct on that, but it's definitely not as much as the other two. But you will get this at the cheapest price. So you kind of gotta factor in different things and look at what you're doing, what you need it for, what result you're trying to get. And that's why you would pick these different 3 products. I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. I hope you guys like the video, understand why we use these 3, and they're different. You can't say what's the best rinseless wash. Well, these are different than the other ones, so there is no best. It's what's the best for you, what you're looking for. Do you have other things to order? Do you have other things you want to do? That makes the best. It's not just like one versus the other, because they do different things. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.